Starting in 5, 4, 3. Welcome everybody to Super Hype Train. We are here for episode 3, and we are talking finally. We're going to look at one game this week, one game only. It is Shadow of War, which is coming up fairly soon, and we're all very excited. Tonight you've got me, Wilco. You have, starting me left to right clockwise, starting with Whip before he freezes. Whip, welcome.
Hey guys.
We have
back and apparently not frozen. So
no. He loves the movie Frozen. You should send him all the memes and all the pictures of Frozen. You can. That'd be great. Thank you.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Oh,
I do actually bring the snow.
It's going great so far. We've got Sammy filling in for Daniel. Daniel's supposed to be here tonight. We've got some issues with him. Life's happened, and we've got Sammy. So how you going, Sammy?
I'm nervous.
Yes.
But happy, I guess.
We're winning then. That's good. Sammy hadn't prepped for this show at all, so this will be great. Josh, how you going, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. It's been a hell of a day, but I got a little bit of Shadow of Mordor in before this.
That's it.
Nice.
That's cool. I mean, I really want to go back and play this game so badly. Anyway, Benny, how you going?
Yeah, good man. I'm good, brother. I'm excited. I played some Shadow of Mordor over the weekend to get excited about it. And hey, top of the show, let's get it out there. Shadow of Mordor on sale on Steam, $4, whole thing. Go out, get it.
That's it. Game of the Year edition has all the DLC. It is $4. It's the best $4 you'll ever spend. Better than a stunner meal at Hungry Jack's and all the other things you spend $4 on. Go do it.
I literally said that to Claire just before. Best $4 I've ever spent.
Oh, it is. Like,
it's a fantastic game.
It was
a sleeper hit.
It was okay. So let's go back. Let's start the podcast. Let's go into the history of how we got to Shadow of War, which is Shadow of Mordor. 3 years ago, Whip, when you were a little wee lad, back when you were in primary school, Shadow of Destiny released, Destiny 1 vanilla, and then a couple weeks later, Shadow of Mordor released, and oh my god, I lost my way on Destiny because this game came out and I couldn't stop playing it for months at end, and therefore never went back for a long time. 2014, 3 years ago, and Nemesis system came with it. It's a third-person action-adventure role-playing game. It's one of the best games of the year for me that year, by far, and I still played it many hours into 2015 as well. Benny, what made this game so good?
The Nemesis system. Let's call a spade a spade. That was the one thing that made this game fantastic and what people loved about it.
Yep. Wasn't the storyline?
The storyline's pretty good. I mean, I've enjoyed it, but like the Nemesis system, that was the big selling point. You got the combat from Arkham, you got the stealth from Assassin's Creed, you've got a great, background being the Lord of the Rings mythology, and you've got this Nemesis system where you've got orcs coming back trying to kill you again, and it's just fantastic. I loved it. I was just playing it over the weekend again. I had the same orc come back at me like 4 times in the space of an hour, and I'm like, dude, I just blew your brains up from inside your head. How are you still alive? So I killed him again pretty quickly, but it was it's you get these little moments, and like if an orc kills you, you get this chance to go chase him down and get revenge on him because they get promoted to a captain. So you go chasing them and things, and then if they beat you again, they get stronger. So yeah, it's got all these fantastic little nuances in this system that makes the combat and the thrill of the chase really great in this game. I love it. I just had an absolute ball.
That's it, because the actual orcs that are created in this game, the enemies that you've got to battle, are all randomly generated, including the name. Some of the best names in games in history. Even their abilities. So if you get one that's really hard with the abilities that don't play to your play style, and he kills you all the time, he gets stronger and stronger, and you've just got to learn how to adapt to those.
That's it.
To those abilities. Now, Josh, you've obviously been playing it today. This is your first playthrough, isn't it?
It is. It was one of the things that back when Destiny came out was like, I should pick that up because that looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it just fell off the radar. Picked it up on the weekend when I found out it was only $4. So I was like, hell yeah. gonna get that, and didn't get to play it until this morning, or wasn't downloaded until this morning, so I didn't get to play it till this afternoon. And for the little bit of interaction I've had actually with the Nemesis system, it was just some like I was just walking around, heading towards the first objective that I've got.
Yep.
Happened across this orc who happened to be one of the captains.
Yeah.
And I stabbed him in the head, so I'm looking forward to seeing him.
He'll come back.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing him.
He'll come back with a patch on his eye too, and everything, like the war wounds that they get.
Or it'll just be scars or something over his face.
I didn't
can't
realize what was
express
happening
it.
until I got to like the screen where he died off from the captains. I'm like, oh,
He's gone.
so that's what that was. Like, it gave like a little intro of him, and I'm like, oh, you're dead. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You're in my way.
Well,
But yeah, so then it jumped to the screen and he died off. I'm like, oh, maybe I could have done something better than just killing him.
no.
Oh no, he'll come back. He'll come back.
Generally, they do.
Yeah.
Now, Whip, have you played Mordor?
No.
Oh.
If we're being completely honest, no. I bought it, same as everyone else on the Friday
Yep.
when it was $4. And I was like, yeah, shit, yeah, buy it now. But I haven't actually had the chance to play it. I was meant to play it today before stream started, but I got called away to do something else.
That's fair enough. You will play it though. You are excited to play it. That's the main thing.
I'm actually going to be playing it after this.
Okay,
on
good.
my,
Yeah.
live stream.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
There you go. Quick, plug your live stream so everyone knows.
Don't worry, I'll plug it later.
It's Wilco's Chill Zone. If you want to go to that, just put a follow down. Now Sammy's in the same boat. You have not played this yet, Mordor. That is.
No, I haven't. I mean, the thing is, it is such an interesting system, I guess, the Nemesis system, because, the thing that's very interesting about gameplay and story as it's been progressing, as it's been kind of going further and further into open world.
Yep.
And it's interesting because the thing is, naturally, most of the stories still have to be fairly linear, like GTA 5 is, still, this kind of very film-like story. And I do kind of want to get into Mordor because it is kind of the first attempt that I've really seen at, the story actually in a very tangible, in a very real way, kind of being created by the player.
Yep.
In a real sense, instead of it just kind of, you're playing out this role that's already been kind of set mostly in stone for you. And, Shadow of War seems like it's going to be doing kind of a similar thing. So, I don't know. I am interested in it.
Yeah. Look, it's I honestly, the way I played it, I didn't follow the storyline very much. I probably did. I don't think I finished it. I put like 30 hours into the game and never did that final mission because I didn't want to finish it. I just wanted to run around in that world. And
did you get the DLC? I can't remember if it was a paid for.
I haven't got
one of the DLCs where there's a you can basically it's like a challenge mode. So you just have to run around the world and kill as many captains as it's like point scoring. Without dying. As soon as you die, that's your total.
That's the end of it.
So I think that's how it was. So yeah, you should try that one.
Yeah, but I kind of meant the more in general in the sense that you're kind of creating your own story by having, these specific orcs that you are facing and, they become your rivals, your enemies, they become part of the hierarchy kind of thing, as opposed to, like whatever your specific mission is, a Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. Kill all the bad guys, presumably.
That was
but yes.
about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of a subset of kill all the bad guys. Kill all the bad guys because they did a bad thing to us, kind of thing.
We'll quickly touch on the story because the story is following straight into Shadow of War. We will get into Shadow of War now. Enough talking about a game that's been out for 3 years. You did play as Ranger Talion. I'm going to butcher all these names because I'm a terrible pronunciator person. And he was basically had half a spirit elf lord in him, and that was Celebrimbor. Celebrimbor, that's it. That one. Anyway, he was the one who did all the fancy stuff with you could use your arrow to cut across the map pretty quickly. You could then basically brand people with the ring that you had, and he was a fairly large part of that. So that whole storyline is following on into the second one. Like I said, I didn't really care much for the storyline, but it wasn't it wasn't part of the actual any of the movies or anything like that. It was just an offset sort of thing, so that made it fairly good. They could do whatever they wanted with that storyline. So, what is happening with Shadow of War? Obviously, Monolith Productions is doing it. Warner Brothers is bringing it out.
I mean, look, let's just get to the most important thing, which is clearly Bruce the Chopper.
Bruce, we'll get to Bruce in a sec. 10th of October, you'll be seeing this game on shelves everywhere, on all machines. It has got a marketing deal, I think, with Xbox a little bit. It appeared on their stage at E3.
Yeah, probably because it's going to run 4K on the One X, but that's probably about it.
Yeah. What was the first game to actually be announced for Project Scorpio before Project Scorpio became Xbox One X as well?
Forza 7.
Yeah. It's always Forza.
No, Forza 7 was actually announced, though. This was the first one.
Wow. It was Forza, because Forza 6 they used as the test bed to prove that it runs at 4K, 60 frames per second, using, what was it, 50% power?
Yeah, something like that.
I'd say this one would be up there with the 60 frames club for that sort of console.
Nah, it looks really pretty. So let's have a look at the actual game itself. So Bruce, we've obviously mentioned a lot. He came out of the reveal trailer. Everyone just loved Bruce.
No, he was in the.
No, he was in the E3 trailer.
E3 trailer, yeah.
Gameplay.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Anyway, it's set in a massive open world, absolutely massive, way bigger than the last one because the previous one was on 2 separate open worlds, which was good, but they were fairly tiny once you started getting around on beasts and stuff like that. They're going to be bringing in this fort style mechanic where you actually have to build up an army and take on the forts and defend your forts, and we'll go into a bit more of that later on, but that's what they've been focusing on a lot as far as the gameplay goes. So it's going to play a big part in it. There are also going to be different tribes for the orcs, which will actually be unique and make things look a little bit different. There's going to be so many different features. We'll run through the features in a sec, but we'll start here. Josh, what are you looking forward to with Shadow of War, or what are you worried about? You are looking forward to this, I'm assuming?
I am looking forward to it now that I've actually put my hands into Mordor.
Yeah.
I'm looking to see what they've done extra with the Nemesis system, like how they've built upon that.
So good.
Nemesis 2.0.
Yeah.
Basically. I don't know why that we don't see that in more games, but anyway.
It's good patenting.
Yeah, but there's always ways to rip that off. The fort upgrading does sound pretty good. I'm a sucker for upgrading and base building and all that sort of stuff. So that's definitely something that will probably take me away from the game for probably too long, and I'll forget what I was doing. Depending on how deep they've actually made that whole thing.
Yeah, we'll go into it now since you've mentioned it. The actual fort building itself, they're talking about you can actually upgrade all the materials around the fort. So you'll get maybe a wooden door at the moment. The front gate will be a wooden gate, and you can actually build that up to be a metal gate as through obviously crafting and building up your materials and stuff like that. Different traps and mines you can set around the place. You can actually put up different defences, artillery, get the siege beasts going and things like that. Obviously that works the other way. If you're attacking, you can actually build up your siege equipment and stuff like that to take in with you. So I was saying to Benny before, it feels like it's almost an RTS in that aspect, or a Rome Total War style setup, or like that kind of setup where you actually have to be one of the characters down the field of battle as well. So does sound really good, and the battles they've shown so far with the big flying beasts, and
you don't know me to do, right? I'm just gonna sink every possible resource into an army and just go around fucking wrecking everything. I don't care about protecting it, someone can come along and take it later, but I'm still just rock around and wreck fucking everyone.
Well, that's the thing, like this Nemesis system in the 2.0 version of it is like it was before. It was just the enemy, and now you're actually going to be able to build up your own army with it, which you sort of did before, but this is just such a larger scale where you actually put an overlord in a fort, and that fort will take on its own characteristics, and then from the land around it will then take on those characteristics depending on what tribe that overlord's from and the power of that overlord. So, gee, there's so much we can do. This Nemesis system is shaping up to be a thing that should be in all games, and I still, like we said, someone hasn't ripped it off yet, and they should have. It's been 3 years since that people first saw it.
Why hasn't it been ripped off? I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of any games that it would have fitted into well, but...
I can name...
Arkham Knight. That's probably a good one that could have fitted into with the bugs or something like that.
Doesn't Warner Brothers also own that one?
Yeah, exactly. Which is where they ripped the combat off for Shadows of War. So,
I'll give you one right now, Benny. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Well, there you go. They could do Nemesis system in that. That'd work probably pretty well. Grand Theft Auto for that matter as well. Pretty much a sort of open world game where you could have that sort of low level character rising through the ranks as your Nemesis, essentially.
Yeah.
I think it would suit in well. I'm surprised there hasn't been one that's ripped it off.
I think you'll find it's not only a patenting issue, but also the fact that something as complex as that can't have been easy to create in a back-end coding sense. And, Assassin's Creed would have been great for it, but something like that complicated, there's no way that would be easy, or it would be almost impossible to replicate without actually being able to see in front of you how they've done it, like in the back end from a code sense, how that's been put together, because that would be something to think about, not only the legal issues in trying to copy it, but the technical issues as well, and trying to figure out how it works to replicate it.
Legally, I mean, as long as they replicate it using their own sort of coding and things like that, I don't think...
You don't have to change it. You've only got to change it a certain amount to get away with it anyway.
Exactly. It's like ripping off music these days. So the pop songs are recreations of old songs. So you just have to alter it enough so that it's different. But yeah, like Assassin's Creed, but I just thought of Diablo. That'd be another good one that'd be work really well for that sort of system.
I want to see a Mad Max 2 and Mad Max 2 with the Nemesis system.
Oh yeah, Mad Max 2 that's another WB game as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It would fit into so many games, to be honest. And it would. We thought when it first came out, like me and Perko talk about it every other episode. This was the next coming. This was the next big thing. And the part was it was so next gen that it came out in that cross period between 360, PS3, PS4, and Xbox One. And it wasn't
a year after the release.
Yeah, but the old versions didn't have the Nemesis system because the machines couldn't handle it. So we thought, this is true next gen. This is great. But no, never happened. So
it was actually also one of the first games on PC to have 4K texture packs as well.
Because it's
the reason I actually bought Shadows of War was because I just bought a 4K TV that Christmas.
Yeah.
So I hooked my PC up to it, downloaded Shadows of War, downloaded the 4K texture pack.
There you go.
I want to see this thing in 4K.
It's always been, whenever PS Pro did their upgrade and all that kind of stuff, it's always the first game to be modelled Shadow of Mordor because it was already there. It was ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, and I still use it as a test bench now. I got the new laptop the other week, and it was the first game I downloaded on it and just ran it as a bench test. It's my bench test game for anything I use now.
Such a pretty game. And like I said, it was one world was green and one world was black, and that was it. But it was still pretty. Now, Whip, what's exciting you about this game? Are you excited about war or not?
I'm on the fence about it, purely because I don't have that experience with Mordor to get me hyped up from what I've seen so far.
Yep.
But
you love Bruce.
Clearly Bruce the Chopper, man. I could have an entire game of just Bruce the Chopper, and I'd be set for life. But I'm also excited to see more on the Nemesis system, to see how they've changed and improved it.
Yep.
In every version of the game, and to see where they take it. But other than that, really, I'm just keen to see how they can graphically push the game further than it has for Mordor, considering how far we've come since Mordor, and Mordor itself was a very pretty game. I'm curious to see how well they're going to get it to look on new hardware.
I read IGN had it as their first a couple months ago, and they had a bit of an ask me anything with the devs. And on your point, Whip, they mentioned Shadow of Mordor. They obviously didn't aim very high. They just said, we've got this system, we want to get it out there, and we want to just make sure it works and looks and feels good. So they aimed pretty low, and this time they said, we're going to make this feel like a massive blockbuster, like Terminator 2 or Terminator 3 was compared to the original, where they went, we're aiming for the sky, we're just going to make this thing as big and as beautiful and as badass as we can. So
well, that's really what I'm hoping to get out of it, is just a very large, very pretty game that looks amazing but is also quite functional, but something I can get away with, only putting in half hour at a time, and not, having to spend 4 hours behind it to get anywhere.
Well, that's the thing. With the captains, you can really pick one out. You can go work on killing him, and within half an hour he can be dead, and then you can walk away from it. So should be pretty good. There's also, as you mentioned, upgrades to the Nemesis system. Again, that I've seen in a lot of the trailers where they actually get to betray you, the different captains, or they can betray the captain or the warlord or the overlord on the other side. So you can have this guy set up ready to go, and then all of a sudden he can turn the tables and decide not to help you out, which is another part of the Nemesis system that they didn't have before. Now,
and that's when they die.
That's it. Always. Sammy, are you a bit of an RPG fan or not?
No.
That's a shame.
Happy to be here. I mean, I don't mind them. It's just, I guess, the mechanics I find are not really kind of in tune with the kind of mechanics that I'm interested in.
Yep.
Which is why I'm so interested in Golf Story. I don't know. It really sucks because I do understand that, it is such a popular genre and there are so many fantastic games in that, but I haven't been able to play that much of The Witcher 3, and I'm like, no.
I think this might be the one you can get into then, because it's not going to be as badass as The Witcher 3, because that's like, there goes 100 hours of your life just getting off the first island if you really want to do it, but this will be a little bit less. But the good news is they're going more RPG in Shadow of War from what they've said, which, Benny, I know you're excited about that. It was pretty much a hack and slash, the first one.
It's a hack and slash with skill trees. So I'm keen to see them develop out the world and the character Talion and Celebrimbor a bit more with the abilities that they've shown. Watching the couple of the videos that I've watched so far, the improvements to the movement speed and the traversals and things like that, they're obviously going to be skills that you unlock or passives that you unlock. It just looks like they've gone, okay, we had a really great foundation. Let's just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks, because we've got nothing to lose.
That's it.
And they really don't, because it was a fantastic game. I think it actually got a couple of Game of the Year awards.
It was
the original ends.
The main one was at the Game Developers Conference, which is obviously the big one. It got Game of the Year from those guys, which is a huge, obviously, statement for it. So,
but inside, just so they've really just gone, okay, what else can we throw in here? Well, all right, let's throw a freaking dragon at you. Okay, you can ride a dragon and breathe fire now.
The Balrog.
The Balrog.
Unless the dragon sounds like Benedict Cumberbatch, I don't care.
I don't think it's going to be that. I don't think it's actually a dragon. I think it's a wyvern or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a very small.
We've got lots of Lord of the Rings fans yelling at our podcast right now.
Yeah, I don't know the exact, because you look at Smaug. He was more of a wyvern than an actual dragon when you break down all the differences between the dragons. But yeah, they're really, you go watch some of the videos on IGN. They did that first coverage for a month.
Yeah.
There's like the 4K video showing off how pretty it is and all sort of stuff. So they've really just shown off a whole bunch of gameplay where you can see that they've just upped the number of RPG elements in it. It looks fantastic.
If you do want a little bit more content before this thing comes out, I follow them on Twitch and on their YouTube, and they do a weekly show with a couple guys, and usually get some devs in. A lot of content. They actually answer a lot of questions from chat during that. They usually just play Shadow of Mordor, unless they've got a new build to show the guys. But there's about 14 or 16 episodes of that out there. They're about an hour each, so
Cool.
go check them out if you can. That's straight from the devs and the community manager's mouth then, rather than through other people. And they're sitting there going, this is what we showed IGN in our first, but that was 5 minutes. Guys, have an hour of it and just fully go into depth and answer everything about it. So they're really good community managers over there too. Wow, we've got so much of this game to talk about. I haven't even mentioned the fact that you can brand a grunt now. So just someone on the field, you can actually brand them, and then they can...
Just riding past, you can throw a brand on them there.
Yeah, and then if that one then does a killing blow on a captain, he can then get promoted to captain, and then you can ride him all the way up to overlord and put him in his own fort. Just some dude you walked across on the battlefield. It's... I want to do that. I really do want to get a guy up to the highest just from, hey, there's Jim Bob on the field. Jim Bob's Gary Pants or something, it'll be his name. It'll be great. They've chucked so many more beasts. Are you a Lord of the Rings fan at least, Sammy?
Somewhat.
Somewhat?
I mean, I'm just completely, throwing away my geek card doing this.
Yeah.
If you want to just throw me completely into the fire.
Yeah, I can do that.
I mean, a big fantasy is my thing. I'm more in a, urban fantasy kind of thing.
It's okay. We're going to have our golf story episode coming up as a side episode, so it'll be fine. We'll get all your points back then. So... We've also read a few more. I don't know what you guys read. Like the Ask Me Anything is the best one I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Whip, talk to me about enemies adapting their strategies to your gameplay, mate. How good's that going to be? You're going to go in there, you're going to think you're the best with a sword, and then this guy's going to go, haha, this guy thinks he's best at the sword, I'm going to hit him with an arrow from far away.
Assuming it works as intended. And isn't a failure of the system.
Never is.
It's going to really change the way people play the game.
Yeah.
Purely from a point, because if you're someone like me and you spend your entire time hitting things with a sword, because the sword is pretty and it's just fun to hit things with swords.
When isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. if the game adapts to my choices and sort of suddenly starts throwing things that are firing arrows and other flaming projectiles at my face, I'm gonna get fucking wrecked.
You are.
So
You
I
have
don't
to.
have anything to shoot back with.
You have to learn to get good, mate.
Exactly. So it potentially has the potential to really change the way people are playing the game.
Yeah.
And force them to adapt to different situations. So assuming they pull it all off right, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting.
Now, Josh, talk to me about Mount Mordor at the moment. There's no level. There's no difficulty level when you don't set. It's just straight up. It's
there's no difficulty level. It just basically you go, I want to play a new game. It's like, here you go, start.
Okay, so
okay.
In the new one, they've got easy and they've got hard, I believe it is. There might be a normal in between, but you also can turn the counters on and off as well, which will adjust that so you can have hard mode counters on, so you get a little bit of a help and stuff like that.
Well, if they've only got hard and easy, I'm definitely going to be playing hard, but I'm going to have the counters on.
Yeah, I think you'll be playing easy with the counters on, to be honest.
But I like keeping track of stuff like all that sort of stuff. Like, I like having a heads-up display that goes, there's a thing over there, this is how many of this stuff you've got to collect, so...
Yeah.
The main reason I was throwing to you, though, was how many beehives have you knocked down onto orcs' heads?
None yet, because I haven't come across any beehives.
What?
Oh.
I haven't even killed the first person yet.
Oh.
But
I've been literally murderized.
Have you met Ratgut? Have you met
No.
Ratgut yet? No.
No, I haven't.
So I love Ratgut.
You are going to have such fun with this game when you discover beehives.
And the Caragor meat and the fire explode.
Oh, I've got the fire exploding. I've killed several orcs.
And you can poison the beer as well.
Yeah,
I
there's
saw that one in there.
who would waste perfectly good beer?
Talion would.
I'd rather just kill things than resort to wasting a good fucking barrel of beer with
I don't think
poison.
you get to drink the ale, so you may as well just poison it.
May as well poison.
I don't get to have it, you don't get to have it.
That
Yeah, the orcs drink it. So.
the part I was
Most of it.
the part I was trying to get at was I used to that was my main thing. I'd sneak in, drop the beehives down, and watch chaos go. Drop the meats down. Obviously, they're going to adapt to that as well. As we go through in Shadow of War, I just want to see all the different things that they've got to be keeping stuff back that we don't know about yet.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
they've showed things like you can do dual stealth kills now, where you actually use Celebrimbor to set up a stealth kill on a guy on one side of the fort, and then you can creep around and do the other guy, and then you can time them to go together at once. So that's going to help out with the stealth side of things. Actually go into the forts if you can sneak in beforehand and take out a whole lot of the defences as well. So stealth is going to be a huge part of this game. Oh, so much to talk about.
It's good to sell Mordor. There you go.
Yeah, we've got no Splinter Cell coming up, so we may as well look forward to this. That'd be great.
True.
Now, Benny.
Yo.
How cool do these forts look when you put an Overlord in there, and this whole fort just changes completely?
It just changes and everything like that is fantastic. And then like watch some of the footage. They're riding over the top of the fort with the Caragor and just pouncing on it. It just zooms out and you can pan and all this sort of stuff and have a good look at what the fort looks like.
Yeah.
And the more and more it gets upgraded, the better and better it just looks.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic.
So even into the fort rooms itself, like the whole different, they've got different flags up, they've got statues up, they've got different things, and out in the wilderness as well. So Whip, I know you've got concerns. What are you worried about? So that the system's being not quite right or buggy? Is that?
Look, I'm worried about them taking it a little too far from what made Mordor great. I mean, granted, you're right, they don't have much to lose, but at the same time, if they really, change this dramatically away from Mordor as they seem to be doing, is that going to sort of ruin what was good about it? Are they going to take away from what made Mordor great by trying to improve on it?
Maybe.
Like for example, like you said, it's leaning more into the RPG side of things.
Yeah.
But is that going to take away from the whole, build your own stories around the Nemesis system mechanic of Mordor?
I don't. Well, I suppose we haven't seen the extent of
It's a
changing on the Nemesis system, but
it's a fair
showing
concern.
There's that many. Yeah, there's that many new variety of orcs to fight. Like there's the Bruise, who we've already mentioned. He's a big mother. He's a big ass orc. So he's in there, which you didn't have an orc that size in the first one. You got some pretty big bloody orcs in the first one, but you didn't have a big hulking beast of a man like he is. And you get the little runty orcs and everything like that. So there's going to be this really great variety with the Nemesis system. And like we were talking about before, where you've wounded the guy and he comes back with an eye patch or metal on his arm because that's where your sword cleaved his arm in two or whatever.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So I think it'll still, all that basic stuff will still be there. I think they're just going to add like the adaptability of the enemy. So you killed him, say, with a sword hit to the arm. So he's going to have extra armor on that arm to protect it, maybe, or something, or he'll be invulnerable to a certain type of attack because they have those sort of abilities in the current Nemesis system. So this is just me spitballing. I'm not saying this is in the game because I honestly don't know. They haven't really said a hell of a lot of what extra is going to be in it, but yeah, definitely. I think.
And I'm also what's got me a bit curious is from what you guys were saying, obviously that the Nemesis system randomly generates a lot of characters and names and such. But hang on, I got English. I swear I can English. But
Not on a Monday night.
Bruce
You
the
can't English.
Chopper was voice acted.
Yeah, well, there's certain characters for story mode that they'll keep in. Like in the first one, and I mentioned Ratgut to Josh before, and that's because Ratgut is the first orc that you help progress through the Nemesis system in the first one. He's a voice acted character. He's in the cutscenes, things like that. So they'll have characters like that from the story that they'll place into the tree, and how he progresses up the tree could be randomly generated to an extent.
Remind me though, Benny. They all had a spiel, but it was just a general one voice fits all, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's like I think there was like a half a dozen voices that.
Yeah, because when you saw them, they'd have a thing of, "Oh, here we are. He's the bloody ranger from wherever. I'm going to kill you." Yeah, all had that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I mean,
wasn't a big variety.
I've heard one that's identical to the other. To be honest,
they were very forgettable. Those scenes. It was then just let me kill you. So, but it was
like. I killed you before you saw me coming. So,
that's it.
You know, I've gotten to that point where I was like, I'm super beast mode. I'm just going to sneak up and kill you.
I just love the fact that it's an orc and he's scared of bees. And this is a captain, and you go, okay, well, I'm going to make you come over here near that beehive, and that's obviously he's then in terror and running away. So then you just kill him as he's going away with one hit.
I found plenty that are scared of fire and caragors and things like that as well.
It was good because it made you go into every encounter thinking, well, I can't just do this encounter like I did it last time. If I go in, like, this guy's really good against super attacks, but so I can't use my super attack to hit him and take his armor down. But all of a sudden now...
the other thing I like doing is you grab the intel so you can check out, like...
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay, this guy's killed me. I need to get revenge on him. All right, I need to go get intel on him first. Find out... one, where he's going to be, and also what his strengths and weaknesses are. So you go grab the intel, and then...
Well, that was it. So
now I got you.
Instead of just killing a captain or killing a war chief, you actually had to decide, do I try and brand him to make him with me? Do I kill him, or do I try and get info out of him?
Fairly middle of the game, so maybe not middle of the game, but, you know, it's a good few hours in before you actually unlock that skill. But,
but that gave you those options as well. And I think now they actually go off and they do missions on themselves, from what I understand.
Yeah,
so
there's missions and things I saw on that. It looks really cool.
Yeah, so this Nemesis system seems to be so much more living and breathing. So you'll actually come back, and not only where it used to be this guy randomly died, or this guy's actually gone and battled this guy. He's got this much XP, and he's actually got this many attributes, and that's what they're bringing into it in the Nemesis 2.0. So.
One of the things we didn't mention with the Nemesis system as well, it's probably not so much with the Nemesis system itself, but the revenge system. So if another player gets killed by an orc somewhere else in the world, if you're online obviously, you can go and get revenge for your mate. You're like someone off your friends list. So say Whit, you get killed by an orc, and I'm playing along and I see, oh, my friend Whit got killed by such and such orc. I can go track down that orc and get revenge for you. Things like that. So I'm hoping they bring that back in the new one as well and improve on that system a little bit more. So like maybe I won't get like a full head chop or head explosion or something on him, so he can still come back in Whip's game and Whip can see what damage I've done to him.
So is there a possibility...
Say, hey, Whip, I chopped his arm off, he should come back with a hook.
So if there's a possibility that Josh gets killed by an orc, I can go up and have a beer with that orc later on?
Yeah, possibly.
That would make...
You can brainwash him and go, good job, bud.
Josh, have you got any concerns of Shadow of War besides the fact that it's too far away at the moment?
Well, yeah, aside from it being too far away, it's a sequel. It's the number 2.
Number 2s are always better than number 1s. But they haven't put a 2 after it.
I don't know, Mass Effect 2.
Everyone knows.
Outlast.
Played Outlast. But I'm sort of looking at more from the movie aspect. The number 1's always better. I'm just afraid that they're gonna screw it. Like, honestly, the way that games dev has gone for the last couple of years, they've always put something in that's like, oh, really, guys? Come on, just no, don't want that. Why did you do that? Like Ubisoft and their towers for goddamn forever. It's like, we've got another game. Oh, there's towers in it. Oh, good.
Have you not got to the towers in Mordor yet? Oh, they're cool.
No, because
they're not as bad though, thankfully.
No. I got that first tower, but that's because it handed it to me. Yeah. Obviously. But yeah, it's going to be one of those things where it's like, they're going to do something that's just way too overplayed, and it might detract from the actual game itself.
No, that's fair enough. Now, Sammy, coming from a perspective of someone who hasn't played the first, have you got concerns about Shadow of War at all?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's going all right. You know, of course, this is, you know, off the back of E3, which is, you know, the greatest show on earth, kind of snake oil salesman. Everyone be happy and talk about all the money people are going to spend on these things. You know, like, I mean, from what I have seen, it looks pretty good. Like, it seems like a pretty solid sequel to Shadow of Mordor that had a lot of success, that had a lot of love. So, you know, I can only hope for me if I end up playing it, but mostly for all of you when you end up playing it, that it will be fantastic and it will live up to those expectations that have been set for it, and, you know, hopefully surpass them as a sequel.
Given that it's $4 on Steam at the moment, do you think you might purchase it for yourself?
Yeah, I probably will. I mean, the thing is, I've got lots of other ones that are much more expensive than I'm putting my money into, so I probably don't have that much of an excuse. But then the question that I have, and, you know, I don't know if you guys think you could answer it, but do you think it would be worth getting it for $4 and then getting Shadow of War later on, or do you think
I'd
it would
say
just overlap?
Getting Shadow of Mordor for $4, I mean, that's a bargain in itself. It's a fantastic game. It's worth every penny. But you don't have. I wouldn't. If you're not that keen on it. $4 for a trial version of what you know.
Yeah, but I mean, would it be worth for someone who wanted that kind of experience to get both of them, though? Really, in the long run,
depends on how much time you think you're actually going to sink into Mordor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't think you're going to spend much time on it, you're just going to sink it in occasionally. Then, you know, $4 isn't much to just get a bit of a taste of it.
Yeah.
Compared to the like 60, no, that's way too little. But $80 to $100, you know, you're gonna spend to buy Shadow of War.
I think Shadow of Mordor's at $4 is the perfect way to get a cheap demo of Shadow of War, and I think everyone in their life has to play the Nemesis system at some stage because it is that good.
Just because you said that, I'm not going to play Shadow of Mordor.
Good.
Let's come round to his house and kick his ass.
Look, if he doesn't want to be one of the cool kids, I don't care. No, seriously.
Tie me to the chair, make me watch Lord of the Rings and play Lord of the Rings.
If you're going to play Shadow of War, regardless, I wouldn't even worry about Shadow of Mordor unless, look, you got $4 and you got 30 hours spare in your life. If you don't have that time spare,
even without the 30 hours, I mean, hey, you spend $4, you play it for 4 hours.
Yeah.
You've got your $4 worth.
Yeah.
Exactly. As far as I'm concerned.
But like I said, everyone, you just need to
go back and visit it later.
The Nemesis system is what these two games are all about, and you're not going to experience in any other game on the market at the moment, and it's just one of those things that is just so good because it is just so different and it just adapts to you so well.
Actually, just on the topic of the
shitty anime puzzle games.
Yeah, I was just going to say, on the topic of the it being a Lord of the Rings game, that's more just a back. It's not required reading or watching. I mean, okay, Gollum shows up in Shadow of Mordor. I don't think he's in the second one.
It is 100%.
The second one, it's got ring wraps, but it's set in the world, but it's got nothing to do with that story.
We've got the license for Lord of the Rings. What can we adapt it to so we don't lose the license? Oh, hold on, we've got this Nemesis system. Sweet. Oh, that works perfectly. Off you go.
In all honesty, the game probably would have sold better if it didn't use the Lord of the Rings license.
100%.
Because that might have been something that put quite a few people off.
Especially after the previous Lord of the Rings games, it was something that definitely... It was, very tainted.
It was one of those things that when I first heard about it and it was like Mordor, and it was like, oh, I know that thing because of Tumblr. You know, I was kind of, I was kind of a bit off it, but the mechanics, I think, are much more interesting.
Yeah.
Than the packaging, makes them out to be.
The lead up to Shadow of Mordor was so interesting because you had these devs and these publishers that were sitting there going, we've got this really cool thing in this really bad package that no one wants to see. And you could see them going, it's not Lord of the Rings. No, but you could see them just going, every display they did was, we're not going to tell you anything. We're not going to show you. Here's the controller. just play, and everyone's just like, oh wow, this is amazing, and that no one was talking about it. It came out, everyone started raving about it, and that was a big hit. So,
well, that's the problem with kind of, marketing games in general is, the thing that people are going to usually stay for is the gameplay, but the things that you can market are the story and the imagery. So the further along the, it's not actually that important kind of scale, the easier it is generally to market. And, that's just an unfortunate reality of the games industry.
and I think the Steam sale's perfect timing for them because
Yeah.
$4 getting this into the hands of the masses that missed out on it, because there's a lot of people who did miss out on this. So it is perfect. I'm personally a little bit worried about the delay. I don't know what's happened here. It was supposed to be out end of August. I think
August would have been perfect.
because it would have been before Destiny 2. It would have been just nothing else in its play.
They're right on track for their Destiny 2 release date.
Yeah. It was always going to be. This was going to give me 2 weeks before, and I was only going to be a week and a half before Destiny 2.
Bit over a week. Yeah.
But now October 10th, it's in that period. I'm a little bit happy with it because Destiny 2, that's a month of it. I can start then getting sick of it before the PC release. Will be
October 8th, isn't it?
Nah, it's October 24th, so it's 2 weeks after this.
Yes, that's right. 8th is the beta, isn't it?
Yeah, no, August is the beta.
No, PlayStation's betas were way before the PC one. They got delayed as well.
Yeah.
The PC one's a month after the console one.
But that's a whole nother podcast that we're going to do after beta for consoles. But I'm worried. I want to know why they delayed it, but they're never going to tell us. I want to know if they're putting something else in extra, or they're waiting for closer to Project Scorpio's launch. Or
maybe they're just giving me more of a Bruce the Chopper storyline, because that's
Maybe.
really all we want. They got the E3 trailer. We're like, shit, people love this character. Like, quick, let's delay it and give him a whole storyline.
I wonder if they're going to go through a humans are friends, not food sort of.
Nice.
Maybe. One of the things that I'm excited about seeing, though, is because of this RPG aspect, I wasn't really fussed with the armor in the first one, armor and weapons. It was all just, In this one, the actual armor and weapons part of the RPG setup, where you actually get the attributes and that kind of stuff, and everything's unique.
Yeah, well, the first one you only had the runes. You didn't actually upgrade. Like, you didn't get a new sword or a new...
I did love the rune system, though, to be honest.
Yeah, the rune system is really cool.
So I think they're bringing that in more detail, but and mixing it with the armor upgrades and stuff like that, I guess, now. But
If they redo the rune system, I'd like for the runes to carry across all weapons. So then, if you've got a sword, you got 3 rune slots on it. Then you get a better sword that does more damage. But then all of a sudden, it's like, it's only got the 1 rune slot.
Yeah.
I don't want it now.
well, it's all part of the RPG thing, where
It is.
You've got
it
it.
is.
I don't know how much of a change there'll be of that in there, but yeah, I'm curious to see how they do the weapon upgrades. It'll definitely be an improvement on the first one. But the rune slot in the first one, I think that worked really well. So.
Yeah. The weapons were more forgettable in that first one, but the runes were really good. I found myself hunting them all down. Like, it's one of the first games in a long time that I went and cleared areas out before I'd even close to doing the next storyline. I just don't do that in games. I don't have time, but that's what I did back then, and it was just so good. I just love that world, and I can't wait to get back into it, to be honest. And I'm probably going to play Mordor before War launches, and stream a bit of that.
Get through it before it happens.
Yeah, just got to find time. So let's start wrapping this thing up. I think we've got about 10 minutes to go. Final thoughts. We'll start with Sammy. What, after talking to us for the last 15 minutes, what are your thoughts on Shadow of War, and what excited or not, or any other things you want to talk about?
I'm very excited to buy Shadow of Mordor for $4 from Steam and possibly watch all the Lord of the Rings movies.
This does not at all sound like a forced or paid for endorsement.
What are you talking about?
Gee, I wish we had paid for endorsements. That'd be awesome.
I'm excited to play it at some point. I don't think I'm going to be getting it at launch.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's okay. This is what the hype train's about. It does have the word hype in it,
It's
but
about being
we're balanced
all
hype.
excited.
No, we don't
stuff.
have to
I'm
be.
not allowed to be skeptical. That's the other half of the coin of hype. Is you
Exactly.
gotta be like, no, this might be terrible. It's all business people trying to sell you things.
There will be definitely games coming up. I've already looked in this list that we will turn around and say, do not get this game or be very wary. So hype is just the word.
Yeah.
Wait, they're doing a No Man's Sky 2?
Yes, they are. They better be. Josh.
Actually, finish the first game first.
Yes, Josh. Wrap up your thoughts on where Shadow of War sits at the moment for you.
Well, after seeing like the 2 hours that I've played so far of Mordor, I'm keen to see towards the end of that how they expand on it. Hopefully they don't ruin the Shadow name, but don't think they will. I mean, Nemesis system looks really good. It all looks well good, and you got Bruce as well. Can't forget Bruce. Bruce. Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited for it. I would want to pick it up on or close to launch, just to get through it. But yeah, it's sort of getting in the way of the Destiny thing, depending on how that goes and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it does look good. I will get it at some point and play it.
Okay, so I'm going to skip Benny. Go to Whip. What's your thoughts? Wrap it up for us, mate.
Alright, well, I won't necessarily say I'm excited for the game.
Seems a bit cold.
Yeah, because really I'm not. There's so much more on my hype list that I am far more excited for than Shadow of War. But at the same time, I will buy this game. I don't know if I'll buy it on launch or anywhere near launch, but I will buy it, and I will play it, and I will find Bruce the Chopper, and then I'll probably stop playing. It's really that's what I'm buying this game for. Not the Nemesis system, not the storyline, just Bruce the Chopper.
So they've done perfect marketing for you. They've done really well, Warner Brothers.
They've sold you on one character.
Yeah,
That's all they had to do was give me that character. They could sell me a fucking pay-to-win mobile game with that character, and I'll still play it.
sweet. Now,
I was gonna go do something.
okay. Benny, I know what you're going to say, and I know what I'm going to say. So give it to us.
Yeah, I want more Ratlug.
Yeah.
Bring Ratlug back for the sequel. Yeah, bring that little bastard back. Yeah, I'm definitely going to pick this game up. I actually have to, now that they've moved the release window from August to October, I'm going to have to see what else is in October that I'm interested in.
Yeah, there's a bit.
At the moment, yeah, there is a bit. Yeah, so I'm going to have to do some considering of which one's going to get love first, but it's definitely going to be up there, especially after what we saw at the E3 thing with Bruce and the way they presented that demo, which was really cool.
So much humour they look like they're putting into this game, where the previous one sort of
really
had.
Improving everything from what I've seen. Everything's being improved, and we can ramble on all night about it. But yeah, I'm definitely going to grab this one.
Okay, sweet. I'm just putting my hand up to say this will probably be right up there with my Game of the Year selections at the end of the year.
We always knew it was going to be for you.
I said it from the start.
This game,
I honestly.
the announcement was made. Hell, 30 minutes after they announced that stupidly expensive collector's edition, you had it on pre-order.
Yeah, I was just about to get into that. I've got the Mithril edition on pre-order. I'm still umming and ahhing whether I've got the money to get it or not, but it's there. It's sold out, so gee, I want
How many
it.
episodes of the Megacast has he already called it his Game of the Year, though?
A lot. Honestly. I'm just saying it
Every
will
time
be...
the game gets brought up, this is my Game of the Year.
I'm so hyped about this game. You have no idea. But just because of like the original one and everything I've seen, like I've watched a lot of the live streams and all this kind of stuff, and it's...
Because he's dedicated, man.
On this game, I am, to be honest. I was going to do a few videos. I just haven't had time. But I was going to do some videos. I've got a whole stream lined up to redo the storyline from the start again before launch. But we'll see how that goes, especially with Destiny 2 coming in before launch now. But like I said, it's sitting perfectly in that window between Destiny 2 and Destiny 2, which is my other chance for Game of the Year, as you can tell. And yeah, so look...
things to say about that, but that's another podcast.
Look, I've always said I like terrible games, so you probably buy Beware on Shadow of War because I love it so much. So
Yeah.
If it's Wilco endorsed, it's a risk.
oh, it's terrible. Don't do it. So yeah, look, that's where I stand on it. It was obvious coming into it. I've been talking about this for ages. So, Sammy, what are you excited about this week, and what are you doing, and where can people find you? And thanks for filling in last minute, man.
Okay, those are a lot of questions. So, I am excited this week for finishing reviews, I guess.
Yay.
Anyway, so I am Sammy Deege for Twitter and all that kind of stuff. SammyDeedge. Or you can go to X. Oh yeah, and it's also down there. And you can also go if you're watching the video, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to go to my YouTube XD, that's where I put out the Vivid Geekcast, and fairly recently, a review of Arms, which is all right.
That was a pretty good review, I must admit. I watched it.
Thank you.
It was good times.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. You know you get at least one viewer. It's
I'm
Josh, so
doing
it's
one
half a
of-
viewer.
Yeah, I'm doing one
Still counts
of
as
Resident
one.
Evil 7. It's very political.
Ooh, nice.
So, yeah, good luck to that.
I just realised the whole clockwise thing on my side is not what it is on screen. So I should now go to Benny because he's there, but I'm not. I'm going to go to Josh. How you going, mate? All those questions.
How are you?
Good, mate.
Can you repeat those questions? I already forget them.
What are you excited about?
So
What are you
I
doing?
was-
And where can people find you?
I'm excited about playing through a bit more of Shadow of Mordor. I
Sweet.
also rediscovered that really shitty game, Banished, on the weekend. Oh god, that game. Anyway, I want to play a little bit more of that. Other than that, you can find me at King_Chommer, which is above my head. And hit me up there for all the gamey bits and pieces. I'll
Okay. No one's going to hit you up. But if at least someone say hello to him on Twitter, that'd be great if you can. I want to just see if anyone does listen to this far deep in the podcast. Whip, where can people find you? What are you doing? And yeah, that stuff.
There's too many questions. Okay, you need to narrow this down.
Yeah.
But as for where you can find me on Twitter and Twitch and a few other places under the username WhipFlash191. If you do find me, do say hi. Preferably without saying hi to Josh, because I'd like to beat his number of greetings.
let it go, Whip.
You can't see it.
Let it go.
Let it go.
I'm gonna ask you to
Can
say
someone-
hi to me more? But if you want to just screw with them,
Someone has to send him some kind of Frozen meme. That'd be awesome, please.
Josh
Do it.
already has the entire fucking
Go for it.
podcast. You guys? We'll finish the podcast. You'll check Twitter, and it's just like a 15 message chain of him sending me fucking Frozen gifts.
Oh, that'd be gold. Benny, shout out some plugs, mate.
All right, shout outs and plugs. Let's see. First up, you can catch me on Twitter at theSpawny13. You can check out the Flashpoint podcast we recorded last night.
Hey.
Check out a couple of NPCs podcasts. They joined us last week on the E3 episode. I was just on their podcast a few hours ago. We recorded another episode, so
You're a
check that
freak.
one
You do
out.
too many podcasts.
Says the man who does 4 a week. So then, also, check out Sammy's review of Rhyme on the We Are 8-Bit website.
yes,
Do that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that review, man. It was
We're
awesome.
gonna have Resident Evil 1 up there soon as well. So.
Awesome. I can't wait to read it, man. Check out all the other We Are 8-Bit stuff at We Are 8-Bit on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, you name it, it's probably there. Check out the Hungry Gamers podcast because Brendan will kill me if I don't plug it. And t-shirts at designedbyhumans.com/shop/We Are 8-Bit.
I bought some of those the other day.
Wow.
Which one did you get? Which one did you get?
I can't remember now.
The best impulse buyer in the world. Okay, so
Yep.
look, go over check out www.ultrasupermega.com.au. That's where we host this podcast. That's where I do all my stuff, and it's cool kids over there. Ultra Super Mega on Facebook. It's Ultra Super Mega Games. Ultra Super Mega _ on Twitter. Follow all their stuff because they're fun, and jump in their Discord. Jump in all our Discords. You can find them on our Twitter links. Especially the Ultra Super Mega one's going crazy at the moment. We've got heaps of people active at the moment. So except for Whip and Josh, just ignore them. You can actually block them, I think, so that's fine. Myself is Wilco's Chill Zone on all the cool places, streaming just about every night a week, except for Wednesday and weekends. Mostly podcasts, but hopefully some games fairly soon. So that is it from me. I've got nothing else in the works except for 3 other podcasts, and active.
Good luck.
Yeah. Megacast tomorrow night, Locked On Tom Clancy podcast, and that other Pokemon thing we do. But that is it from us, guys. I hope you enjoyed. We're going to jump straight into South Park next week, so keep an eye out for that. We're going to get in before it gets banned, and we're not allowed to talk about it anymore in Australia. And then we'll be moving on to Mario and Rabbids, or Rabbids and Mario Kingdom after that. Keep an eye out for the next couple of weeks, and Absolver and Cuphead as a double episode coming up as well. So keep an eye out. Lock it here. Follow us on super_hype train on Twitter, and that's it. That's enough outros. We'll catch you next week. Stay hyped. Stop recording.